Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the incredible Suzuka International Grand Prix circuit here in the land of the rising sun for the Japanese Grand Prix round 7 of the first season of Bronzen. And I gotta say, it has been a fantastic season, hasn't it? And we are getting to the end of the season. Isn't it? 3 rounds to go then of a very short, snappy season, isn't it? It's very similar to what's going on in the real world of Formula 1, isn't it? Only 8 races have been announced so far in that season, but goodness me, I'm so glad that we've actually got a start date for the Formula 1 season. Goodness me, one of the longest winter breaks ever. Gosh, I've really missed my motor racing, and I'm sure all you guys have at home as well. We are here in Japan, and as I said then, and this is going to be a fantastic day of racing. Of course, Energetics, who is 8 points behind Nude Potato in the Drivers' Championship, is not here tonight, is he? So this could be a big night then for Nude Potato to really extend his lead in the championship. Or can Gurman bring the gap back down at the moment? While there's 12 points adrift at the moment. Forza is 37 points adrift as well. We'll go through all the championship standings in just a few moments time, which also includes the Constructors' Championship as well, which I think is just as important as the drivers. Well, I do anyway. I'm not sure all the other drivers do really, because they're selfish human beings. These guys aren't. All they care about is themselves, isn't it? And that is what happens when you that's what happens when you're like a fine-tuned racing machine as well. Energetic says, I hope they all crash out. Oh goodness me, I gotta say this track is a very difficult old track, isn't it? Because this old school, isn't, the barriers are close together, which means that any little mistake, which means it's going to punish you quite it's going to punish you quite severely as well. Energetics is saying, hey, for the bus, working as a bus driver. And I gotta say, that was actually my dream job one time whenever I would love to have been a bus driver. I gotta say, I really enjoyed the bus. It's like one of my favourite things to do, actually, is just ride on the bus. We're on board with Maz Lutz at the moment, who is in the Toro Rosso. We're also just looking for his teammate Velocity, who drove last night, didn't he? And he had a problem around this corner, didn't he? But let's see if he's going to have a better day today, going into the first Degna then, and on an outlap at the moment in car 19. Let's go through the drivers and the constructors standing, shall we? As we're just coming up to the hairpin then. So New Potato is leading then. He is on 95 points at the moment in the Alfa Romeo. Energetics is second there, 8 points adrift. Then Gurman is third, the first ever man in bronze here so far in bronze's short history to win 2 races in. So fantastic stuff indeed there for Gurman, and he is in the top 3 then. Brilliant. Forza is in 4th position, and 5th is Velocity. We just watched him on screen now. Sean Hammer's in 6th, then Amazing Steel 7th, Curly 8th, 9th is Blaz, and Mike is in 10th position. Smithy D Moon at 4th position, he's up to 11th, and Bradfield up to 18th position as well. Lovely stuff indeed then. In the constructors then, we have Alfa Romeo now 5 points in front of Haas as second. Then Haas are really good in ALR this season, aren't they? Fantastic stuff indeed. They're also second in silver as well, aren't they? Red Bull are in 3rd position. McLaren have dropped down 1 position here, down to 4th. Toro Rosso is 5th, Mercedes 6th, with Williams in 7th, Ferrari 8th, Renault 9th, and a Racing Point is in the final spot in 10th position as well. Just on board Velocity then, as he is coming up the hill now as well. He's out bright and early, isn't he? Velocity is set just to try and get a time on the board, isn't he? As Energetic say, once in 8 weeks have I been late. I've been late then, so good stuff indeed. It's too bad it's now. Yeah, unfortunately there for Energetics then, but unfortunately, but of course we did know Energetics did forewarn us, didn't he? So it did put added pressure on himself back in the last race, which was in America, as we've got a Renault who has gone off the track somewhere. Who is it? It's Collins there, who's just come a cropper slightly, hasn't he? Collins has. We'll leave him be for a minute, shall we? As here we're coming into Spoon as well, and Velocity is going very well. He's invalidated his time then, and I gotta say, we're gonna have a lot of people invalidating their times in this session there. So yeah, be prepared. There's gonna be a lot of frustrated drivers out there as well, as RD Wee is on the grass there. He's become a lawnmower, hasn't he? We've got a couple of new debutants here tonight as well, which we'll go through in just a few moments as well. Then Emerson once again at work, but supporting Ayrton from at work. Good luck, bro. Then of course, Ayrton had a great race last time, didn't he? Qualifying was a fantastic performance there from Ayrton. Race didn't go too well, did he? Damaged the wing, unfortunately, which did compromise his race performance. Unfortunately, Mazlet is the first man to go to put a time in there. He's done a 30.114 so far in the Toro Rosso there, and so good stuff there from Mazlet. And we're just waiting for the Red Bull there to start up. So I've also got Ayrton actually out on track at the moment. Here's the next one to come through as well, coming into the triangle chicane, then car 12 and a lovely helmet there. Oh, I'm loving that helmet there from Ayrton. Beautiful stuff indeed there. Almost like a Norris type helmet there, and he's done a 32.021 there for Ayrton. He's about just over 2 seconds so then. And there's a man that you might be familiar with, all you silver surfers out there. Of course, F1 2019 was a part of the Silver League, wasn't he? Of course, he was a very, very impressive driver as well. Of course, the man from France there drove the Mercedes, didn't he? Unfortunately, he had to step back, didn't he? From Silver, but it's great to see him back in ALR, and he's driving the Alfa Romeo till the end of the season. So it's good to see F1 2019 back in it. And of course, he was very unlucky, wasn't he? He was driving in with Glock and Faxon at the early stage of Silver, wasn't he? And he was on the podium, wasn't he? More often than not, second position. He was so consistent, wasn't he? German has gone fast, so he's 4 tenths of a second in front of F1 2019. Of course, the man who is third in the championship at the moment now, and he's only 12 points adrift then of Irish Potato, who is currently leading the way. Then Sean Hammers is up in the 4th position. Bradfield has just moved up to 5th position. Lovely stuff from Bradfield. Nunda has gone up into 6th position in the racing point at the moment. Lovely stuff indeed. Then Forza has had a bit of a wild start to his lap then, and so is Collins. And Collins is off in Degna 2, I think it is. Goodness me. And he has just come back on the track as well. He's going to leave all kinds of gravel over the circuit then as well, as Forza is just coming up underneath the crossover as well. Yellow flag is fluttering in sector 3. Dead Rabbit's coming up to the 130R as well. Then, of course, this corner used to be much more formidable than it is these days, and of course, there's so much downforce bolted onto the rear of these cars, isn't it? So basically, the cars are just sticking to the track like glue, aren't they? And now here comes Nude Potato, and he is 10th fast alone. That's a bit of a difficult lap there from Nude Potato, so he's gonna have to go around again. Then here comes Smithy D. Then he had a very good race last time. Of course, he's moved up 4 positions in the championship. He's moved up to 11th, just outside the top 10 at the moment. Brilliant stuff indeed. Then you've got Becca Jones saying Curly Red and Sean Hammers for the win there, with the Welsh Red Dragon there in the comments. Lovely stuff indeed. And we've also got Kelly. How long till Justin crashes? He's at the bookies for first lap there. For first lap, I should say. He might even get first lap actually. Bradfield does, but of course, I think Bradfield's done a very good job actually in the McLaren, hasn't he? He has actually moved up. He got a point last time, didn't he, Bradfield? So fantastic stuff indeed from the McLaren driver. Here comes Rafa making his debut in ALR tonight. And good stuff indeed there from Rafa on board of Velocity. Then he had a problem, didn't he, on his opening lap as well. Velocity there just coming out of the hairpin end, and he flies up to Spoon as well. Then this is our third and final race here tonight of the ALR journey. Then, of course, after tonight, we only have 2 races to go in each league. Then we are going to France and then into Azerbaijan. What a difficult race to end on, especially the championship hasn't been wrapped up. It's more likely it's going to be this championship going to the wire out of with gold with Grand Town of great driving gold on Sunday, didn't it? Of course, an absolutely incredible performance. It was impeccable, wasn't it, to say the least there from Grant. I would say his best drive of his career, Mark Webber-esque, wasn't it? And Kimi Räikkönen all rolled into one. It was a brilliant drive. Velocity goes into third fast amount. Lovely stuff indeed there. So yeah, but Emerson is not going to give up, is he? Not until the final whistle or the final flag, and Blas is off and in the wall. He's gone off right into the first S's there. And we just came on board with Blas there. I got to say, Blas was very lucky. Actually went straight in. So luckily Blas hasn't ripped off any of the corners of the car. So luckily he can go on his way there. He has 9 minutes to go though. So luckily he's also done it quite early early as well. Just watching Rafa, and he's got my number there. Incredible stuff indeed. And as he comes through the 130R, Rafa making a debut here tonight. Then Rafa, let's see what he can do in the black and gold hard set as he is replacing the man who's second in the championship here tonight, isn't he? And let's see what Rafa can do as he comes over the line. Let's take a look, and that's a very good time, very competitive, straight off the off. I'm loving this. He's up in the 4th position so far. Brilliant stuff indeed. Then RD Wee is he is in the wall there. That's it, Dunlop there. That's a huge smash there for the Williams car, and he's ripped off the front left part of the car. The tire is hanging off, and oh my goodness me then, and the Ferrari having to take evasive action as well. That was a Lucius there who's in 13th position, and unfortunately RDW is out of qualifying, and unfortunately he's also in the drop zone as well. Blas is trying to get back for that round, but currently he looks like he's just visiting Williams's. Williams was quite famous in that Gravel Trap in 95, wasn't he? It seems like the Williams was in there all weekend, wasn't he? So that's unfortunate. Collins is also on a lap at the moment. He's 15th at the moment then. Well, shame for RDW. He's out of the session, and that's a huge blow, isn't it? Collins has done 3 laps on these soft tyres so far, then, so they're going to be starting to get past their peak performance, aren't they, for Collins? And he's coming up to the line as well. This is a much better time for Collins. He goes into 11 fastest so far. Collins hasn't actually scored a point yet, has he? Which is quite surprising. He's been very as Blas retired from the session as well, so we've lost 2 cars already. And oh dear, he's it looks like as he come off in a big way there. We're just watching. Let's see where he is. And oh goodness me, he's right in the middle of the track there. That's going to Gurman. It's probably hurt Gurman's outlap as well. And Blas there looks like I'm not sure if he missed coming in the pits or what, but that is a lot of damage there to that Williams end. So he is out of qualifying, and that is a big shame indeed there for Blas. So Blas is going to be at least starting 17th, unfortunately, and same for RDW as well. It's been a bit of a brutal start to this qualifying session for both Williams cars, isn't it? Of course, Williams experienced the ultimate high, didn't they, last on Sunday? Unfortunately, last night it was very difficult for both Ghost and Mushroom, and then here tonight as well, both Williamses are out at the first time of asking there. Unfortunately, Lucius in 14th position mode in the Ferrari, and he's 14th at the moment. He's done a 31.7 so far. We got Gavin saying got Darren saying, got Gavin on the brain there. Darren saying evening Sean and evening all. Hello Darren, hope you are then. Emerson reckons that Ayrton's has a faster time in the bag. Come on bro, with also the little muscle man emoji then. Loving that as Lucius comes out of the spoon corner. So look at this lovely shot here for the steering wheel of the Ferrari. It's absolutely fantastic. Look, it's like a computer, isn't it? It's trying to work a computer whilst navigating around one of the best race circuits in the world. Incredible these guys are, aren't they? Coming into the triangle chicane once again. We've got a bit of a queue of cars in front of us. Accelerating out now then, and let's see then what he does then as he comes over the line. Lucius goes 6th fast in the Ferrari. Remember how quick he was in Ferrari in qualifying last week? That was unfortunate there, wasn't it, for Lucius? He was right at the sharp end of the field. Unfortunately, turn 1 in Austin for all 3 leagues where we had incidents, didn't we? Goodness me. And hopefully Lucius there can get a good qualifying and a good race underneath his belt as well. Currently only 15th in the Drivers' Championship at the moment. Mike coming out of the final turn as well then, and you can see that bump there. It does catch out the unwary. Mike has got 11th fast moment in the Mercedes, and good stuff indeed then. Dead Rabbit there just finishes off his up as well, as is Gunnar as well. Car 83. Gunnar drove here on Sunday, didn't he? Unfortunately he had a couple of issues, didn't he, the Irishman, but he comes up to the line now. He's 16th fastest at the moment, and Ayrton is coming back out for another bite of the cherry as well. Here comes Dead Rabbit then, accelerating out of turn at 17 and into turn 18 and hugging the line. He goes 13 fastest in the second Mercedes as well. Everyone who's been out then has done a time. We've got a back row, we've got a Williams back row, which is unfortunate, isn't it, for both Blas and RD Wee, who for both of them have come a cropper 4 minutes to go in this qualifying session, and this is not done and dusted, is it? In the drop zone at the moment now, we've got both Williamses, as I said. We've also got Nunda, Gunnar and also Ayrton, who are all really strong at this stage of proceedings at the moment. And Gunnar Gunnar still on it at the moment, though, isn't he? Really giving it full beans there. Coming into the hairpin as well. Lovely shot there. Look at that. Tickling the throttle then. And accelerating away beautifully well out of the hairpin as well. Then, as you can see, a lovely gentle and Gunnar there. Well, I would say it's a lovely gentle curve there, but Gunnar was weaving from left to right there. I wonder if he's strung with tire temperatures on that Ferrari. And as he's now coming out of Spoon as well then, and coming up into the 130R course. This is one of the most action-packed qualifying sessions of the season, isn't it? Which is incredible, isn't it? Because I got to say, all the qualifying sessions from all two leagues earlier has been absolutely fantastic, hasn't it? And here tonight, we've already had a big old smash, haven't we? With RDW and Blas both going into the hedge so early on in this session. Goodness me. Darren is saying RDW has broke my car, and it was a big old smash as well, wasn't it, for RDW? And Blas is also kind of done something similar as well. I'm loving Ayrton's helmet, by the way. That's lovely stuff indeed. Sean Hammers, goodness me, Ayrton almost collecting Sean Hammers there, as he is on a lap at the moment there. He says Forza is also there on a lap as well, just getting right away. Senna, oh my god, sorry, Ayrton there is coming through. He's 1.6 seconds in front then of his previous best. Then he comes out of triangle chicane as well, stamping on the throttle then, and let's see what he could do then. And Ayrton is coming to the line. That's much better time. He's in 13th fast at the moment, just behind Curly Red then. Good stuff indeed. There were just 2 3/4 minutes to go. And the Dead Rabbit is off at Dunlop there. He's gone off in the gravel, and that's not good at all, is it, for Dead Rabbit? 2.5 minutes to go then for the Mercedes driver to get himself, dust himself down in the drop zone. Then we have Bradfield, and oh my goodness me, in the drop zone we have Bradfield, Nunda and Gunnar all looking at the abyss at the moment there in this first qualifying session, going through the second deck now as well, and yellow flags is fluttering all over the show here in Suzuka. Here comes Nunda then, so he's done a 31.5 so far, and then coming into the hairpin as well, Justin Smithy D go up into 6th position. Good stuff there from Smithy D. 2 laps there on those soft compound tires. Lovely stuff. These tires are the hardest of the compound range, isn't it? So Pirelli have brought here the C1, C2 and C3, haven't they? And that is the hardest in the Pirelli range there as well. Nunda coming out of the Spoon as well then, so he's in the 31s, and I think you have to be at least in the mid 30s. I think you need to be in the low 30s, the early 30s, and to be getting out of this qualifying session. Nunda's found 3/10 of a second in the second sector alone, but unfortunately he's ran out of deployment there as he is coming into the triangle chicane as well. Of course, these cars are hybrid, and they are, and of course there is electric recovery system in all these cars, and that's what makes the support so expensive at the moment. These these engines there, isn't it? Bradfield there just taking 2 bites of the cherry there. Look at Dead Rabbit there getting very close there to the outside of Spoon. We're going to keep an eye, as I think Sean Hammers has just got himself back up into 6th position. Gurman has gone fast. It's a great time there for Gurman there, feeling very much on it tonight, isn't he? He's done he's 2/10 of a second in front of Nude Potato at the moment. Brilliant stuff indeed then. Adrian has just said, hi, it's F1 2019. What's the Constructors Championship actual leader? Sorry, who's the Constructors Championship actual leader? It is Alfa Romeo who's leading the Constructors at the moment, which is actually I think it's the team you're in, actually. So well done there, F1 2019, and you've done a very good job. Of course, this is his first qualifying session, F1 2019, and he is, I've got to say, I think he's just made that Alfa Romeo team very difficult to beat, to say the least, doesn't he? Collins in the pits at the moment. Collins is our third man who is unfortunately bit the dust out of this. Gunnar is now going for broke, isn't he? And let's see what he can do then in the Ferrari, and as he's coming at the S's now and getting very wide there. He's touched the grass, and Gunnar is off into the gravel there. That's why it's an old school circuit, isn't it? One mistake and that's done. Collins is out qualifying. We've got 2 more to go out qualify as well. I think Gunnar's confirmed himself out qualifying, as has Nunda as well, because he's lost the whole nose section now of the racing point then, and that's the whole wing gone. Is Red Bull has just gone past him, and we might need some of those wings from Red Bull. Oh dear then. So we have now lost, I think that's confirmation, unfortunately we have lost Collins, who's out of qualifying. He will have a lot of tyres though in the race, which might be a very big difference maker later on this session. We've also lost Nunda out of qualifying as well. Gunnar is out of qualifying. Blas and RDW, who unfortunately didn't get laps in after they came to blows with the barriers then. So that is the end of qualifying 1 then, and goodness me, that was a very fruitful fight, wasn't it, to get through into qualifying 2, and this won't be long now, will it? Nigel just said, "Good luck tonight, everyone. It's a track with bad luck there." Of course, unfortunately, I keep reminding Nigel of this, and he probably really dislikes it indeed. But of course, this is one track which, if Nigel did have a bogey track, I think this is it, really, isn't it? Of course, the first season, he could have won this, but unfortunately made it. The first that was as far as I remember, the first unforced error in his ALR career, didn't he? And it gave Jonathan the win there, didn't he? Jonathan Cox's first win in ALR. And then season 2, he got he was involved the first corner shunt, and then Sunday it didn't go too well at all, did it? And then he raced last night, and unfortunately that didn't go too well either, did it, for Nigel? Into the pits there comes Gunnar then, and he is out of qualifying then. As F1 has just said, yeah, we're leading, let's extend that. It's also the first time played F1 2019 since 2 months. What a pleasure to be here with you guys, and thank you F1 2019, and what a pleasure it is to have you back. Making his debut in Bronson, but as I said, he was a silver driver, wasn't he? F1 2019, and a formidable force to say the least, wasn't he, in that silver group in. We've got Ayrton saying, nice Ayrton into Q2 by the skin of his teeth. Whew. And Nunda said, there was a fault in my DRS. Oh no! So that Nunda there was unfortunately out of qualifying there because of a technical problem then, which is not, it's such a shame. They're very harsh on the racing point there, isn't it? Of course, there's only one DRS zone around here. Of course, I think it's the same as Monaco as well. There's only one DRS in Monaco. Not really anywhere else you can put the DRS. You could probably put it into the up the straight into the 130R, but nonetheless, I think that then the drivers would have to manually deactivate it, won't they? Because you are not breaking through that 130R corner anymore, are you? So yeah, I think that that's probably not a good idea. As we've seen from Roman Grosjean, it's very difficult to steer and deactivate DRS at the same time. So here's confirmation then of the 5 drivers that have unfortunately lost out in qualifying 1. Both Williamses are going to be on row 10 at the moment. Smithy D has left the session, so I think he's horrified by what's happened to Williams. So Blas is so RD Wee is at 20th, 19th is Blas. Gunnar down in 18th position. He did get a second time, and did he, when he was in the gravel trap. Noonda had a DRS fault, which means he is 17th. So expect to see him come charging through the field. And Collins in 16th position as well in the Renault then, as we're now going into qualifying 2 then. Energetic saying our third driver is doing good then in the Haas then. He is, isn't he? Indeed there, goodness me, he is looking very formidable to say the very least, isn't he? We're going into qualifying 2 then. Of course, remember, we might potentially have a new pole sitter tonight as well. Of course, a new Potato has been on pole position before, but it's been Energetics who's hogged that pole position so far, and he's had 3 in his career in bronze. So fantastic stuff from Energetics. But of course, there, as he is enjoying his bus journeys tonight, we have got to find a different pole sitter. Can it be Nude Potato getting on pole position again, or will it be will we see someone new on pole position then? So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to say the least. Over 2 men have been on pole position in bronze history. It's been F1 Legend and also Amazing Steel as well. Alright then, we're now into qualifying 2 then. We've got Toro Rosso coming out of the pits, and we have also got a Red Bull out of the pits as well then. So we're in qualifying 2 then. So and of course this is where it gets really interesting, isn't it? As we're now going to lose another 5 drivers, and the top 10 guys who get through will have to start on the tyre which they set their fastest time on, as and of course, which a lot of you probably know about already, and are probably bored of me saying this because I say it every session there. But we do have, we potentially, as Gunnar's after session discussed as well, about probably oh my goodness me, that was getting very nip and tuck there, wasn't it, between the two Red Bull backed cars, wasn't it? Oh goodness me then. So that was quite a frightful thing, wasn't it? Goodness me. But I think that was the other Red Bull of German, wasn't it? My goodness me then. Very frightful indeed then. He's on the medium tyres, German is. Maz is on the soft tyres then, in the Toro Rosso then. As also, and just said, please, Rafa, make it difficult for Potato. No, I think that Rafa also might need to make it difficult for the for this man here, German, who is looking very formidable, isn't it? Because he, as I say, he's the first man to win 2 races in bronze history so far. German has, so German is very much on top of the world at the moment, isn't he? He has got the he's got the form book on his side at the moment, hasn't he? German has, and he is going to be the first man to set a time in Suzuka. Then coming through the triangle chicane, stamping on the loud pedal. Car 25, but going over that bump, of course, which Glock was saying on Sunday that it's not even there anymore, is it? There used to be an awful bump there, didn't it? I think Montoya found out to his cost when him and Villeneuve came to blows there in 2005. That magnificent 2005 race was brilliant, wasn't it? Of course, we had awful weather in qualifying, didn't we? And we had a lot of the guys who were at the sharp end of the field down near the back. We had Raikkonen and Alonso near the back, didn't we? Schumacher was down there as well. It was a cracking race, wasn't it? Really one of the all-time favourites at the 2005 Japanese Grand Prix. I suggest you go back and watch it then. German there is flying and into the second Degner as well, coming into the crossover then, and on his way in as well. Of course, also we had Fiji, didn't we? Replace Suzuka for 2007 and 8, I believe it was. Of course, that Grand Prix of 2007, and it was absolutely brilliant, wasn't it? Of course, it was raining glorious. Hamilton was shown his wet weather prowess as well. Alonso went off in quite a big way, didn't he? In that Japanese Grand Prix 2007. I'm sure that there was going to have the Fuji circuit and also the this circuit, the Suzuka circuit, alternate, wasn't they? But I don't think that ever happened in the end, did it? Possibly about funding. Perhaps it's quite a lot of money now, isn't it? It's an awful amount of money to stage a Grand Prix, isn't it, these days? And perhaps a bit too much money. There's too much money, I think, in Formula 1 and just to run the cars and everything like that. Something needs to happen, especially with the perils that Williams are finding themselves at the moment, isn't it? But hopefully I'll find a buyer. Anyway, then German is fast. Moment, and Mazda is second at the moment, and there's 3 tenths of second separates them, and that's a good lap there for German. Now he's 3 tenths of second in front of the soft shod Mazda as well, and McLaren just started his lap as well, and Curly Red is about to finish his lap, and he's also on the soft tire as well. That's a great lap, isn't it, from Curly Red? Really good stuff. I'm sorry, from German. It's also a good lap from Curly Red, but it's a great lap from German on the medium tires. Now he is right in the lows at 29 there. Fantastic stuff there from the Red Bull driver. He really wants to take that lead in the championship here, doesn't he, tonight then? And potentially, if things go his way, he can. Then Forza is in the pits then, as it looks like he was unhappy with that lap there, wasn't he? Unfortunately, we've also got Bradfield in the first leg. Then we'll leave Bradfield to it for the moment, as now we're coming up to the 130 yard, and Nunda saying gone out. And now we've also got Marcus Rashford, as he is back, boys. We have also got Emerson Hill saying, oh my God, Rashford, can I have your autograph? I think he's because I think I made the joke last week about him being a Man City striker. I don't think that's the case. I'm sure he plays for Liverpool, actually, doesn't he? As Mike goes over the grid hatchings now, and he has done a 30.9. Good stuff indeed. Then Rabbit is in the Degness as well. Then Bradfield then is flying up there. Oh, I love this shot coming at the hill. Then it's absolutely brilliant, isn't it? Of course, it's a bit of an old school. It's a bit of an old school feel, isn't it? A bit like the Japanese Grand Prix circuit as well, isn't it? Really, because when you go that hill, then you just it feels the cars are just absolutely flying up there, aren't they? Here comes Bradfield then, as I almost swallowed me tongue, which is not the first time, won't be the last time either. Bradfield comes over the line. He goes for fifth, fast one for the McLaren. 7 tenths of a second in front of Mike then as well. Then so it's a Bradfield. No, sorry, it's a Dead Rabbit there. Is in the well, I suppose he's I suppose he is a rabbit, isn't he? He's named after. He's probably, they do like to be in fields, don't they? But unfortunately, that's not the field that he wants to be in at the moment. It's a rabbit, unfortunately. Over has spun the car by the looks, or half spun it, and it's having to go again then, as we're watching Lucius now then coming through the first Degner as well, and going over the rumble strips as well into the second Degner. He was slightly off the racing line there, wasn't he? But still, Lucius there is he's backed off for Lucius. And we'll leave him to it. And so Rafa then, of course, oh goodness me, getting very waggy there on the rear end there, isn't he? Of course, that Haas is wagging its tail there, isn't he? Like a happy dog then. As we've got a McLaren there just getting out of the way as well. Smithy D is on track as well. He has just started the lap, so we'll keep an eye on what Smithy Smithy D can do. Rafa is at the moment now coming through the fast Kinker Spoon then, and he is now coming up to Spoon itself, and as well, of course, I'm the fast Kinker Spoon here, so I'm talking a load of rubbish again. And now then, as we're coming down the hill then, before coming up to the hill before coming to 130 yards, well, going over the support grid Hutchins then, and let's see if he lifts then. Not a single lift there, not even a hint of a lift there from the Haas driver. And now he comes into the triangle chicane then, and now clubbing the curbs out before stamping on the throttle then, and he is coming up to the line. Let's see what he can do then. DRS right on the money. He goes 6th fastest then for the Haas team. Good stuff there from Rafa, and at the moment he is into Q3. If things stay as they are, then Lucius is now back on track as well. So is Smithy D as well then, and now he comes out of Spoon and now dropping down the hill before rising back up into the 1-4 yard, and yellow flags is fluttering behind us. There's one, the Alfa Romeo, who's on track at the moment as we come through the 1-4 yard. And I'm not, of course, in the first two races here, a lot of people have been staying away from the it's been really a medium to soft kind of track, hasn't it, in terms of strategy. We have seen a lot of hard runners, haven't we? Lucius has left the session. He needs to get back in though, doesn't he, quite quickly. Smithy D has gone 8th fast at the moment. Lovely stuff indeed there from Smithy D. F1 has just started up, so is Forza as well. Let's go on board there with the McLaren driver. As Nunez ask, you're going to write your autograph on Microsoft Word then as well. They do have Word art on Microsoft. You could use that, because I used to like the funky shadow Word art. That was pretty cool as well. They also had a rainbow Word art as well, which was also pretty rad as well, wasn't it? Forza coming into the hairpin then, and you can see dropping down then to second gear. And the Kobayashi hairpin is not officially called that, but anyone remembers the 2010 race where Kobayashi was absolutely a mega bit around there, wasn't he? He was passing cars left, right and centre around there. Unfortunately, Alguersuari was very keen for Kobayashi not to go past there, and tried everything and damaged his front wing, didn't he, on the Toro Rosso, which is a bit unfortunate. As now we're coming back up the hill then, and we come back up the hill then, coming into the 130 yards. Well, he's done a 12.948 then, and he is coming up to the hairpin as well. Then Forza is then, and here he goes, dropping down into second gear, then tickling the 60-mile-an-hour mark then for the McLaren driver. Accelerates out now then, and he comes out to the line. Forza, there's of course Forza won the British Grand Prix. He is 5th fast at the moment on no medium tyres. Good stuff indeed. Sean Hammers is also coming to the line as well. F1 2019 has just gone to second fast amount of lovely stuff indeed then, really good stuff indeed actually, as now accelerated away, and here he comes then up to the line then, and what does Sean Hammers does? He goes 7 fast around there in the Haas. Beautiful stuff indeed there from Hammers. Lovely. Dead Rabbit there is touring back to the pits at the moment. Ayrton is on the lap as well then, as Ayrton is first lap actually out of the pits, and so he was quite keen in qualifying 1, but this qualifying 2 session he has left it slightly more later, hasn't he? And now then as he accelerates away then, and what does Ayrton? He's in the pits then, so Ayrton abandons that lap and comes into the pits then. So we've also got Darren saying, I'm not cheeky, I wouldn't ask for an autograph. Bank details, bank details will do then. So now then we're just coming in the pits then, and at the moment now it's a bit of a it's a bit quiet there. Smithy D is taking the Yoda score pit lane now. I wonder, is that I wonder if of course I'm no bantering aside then, because I'm quite a gullible man, but I wonder if that's actually is that Marcus Ratcher? Is that your real name? Is it, or is that just or is that just you trolling me? So but he's also said I am going to send my autograph. I'm going to send my autograph sock. Oh, lovely stuff indeed. Then so we just got Sean Hammers there, who is just cruising up to the Spoon corner. We've also got Forza just crawling back to the pits as well. So we're going to have a bit of a lull here for the minute, as the cars just in and are just getting themselves sorted on board the F1 2019, and that very distinctive silver and blue helmet, isn't it? I remember seeing that helmet quite a lot in the silver division, and I think we're going to see him quite a bit more than good stuff indeed then, as I think it's because you're using your hands to type. You're a footballer. Try your feet. Footballer. Try your feet. Then, as Marcus Rashford says, just come back with I am. Lovely stuff indeed. It's great to have a celebrity in the old comments, isn't it? Brilliant. Sean Hammers there is now coming into the pits as well. And of course, one of the most beautiful things that I have heard this year is actually football is coming back, isn't it? I think it's June the 17th, isn't it? So that time is ticking down. And even better news is Formula 1 is back on the the 5th of July as well. Of course, we've got a double header in Austria, and of course there's 8 races that have been announced so far in this really weird and awful time, hasn't it, really? This year has been absolutely appalling, hasn't it, really? So hopefully sport can get us back on the right track, isn't it? Where you love football, where you love F1, or where you love anything at all. Maybe even a bit of golf as well. I've not really heard much about golf, actually, but yeah, I think that hopefully that'll be coming back soon as well, and we can enjoy the old masters. I don't really know much about the I don't really know much about golf, to be honest. All I know is that Tiger Woods used to be the best player in the world, or is it? No, Rory McIlroy wasn't it, after that? And then after that I have no idea, and that's enough about golf, because the only golf I know is about a car. That's all I know. Curly Red then is now starting his lap as well, and going very close to the edge of the car, very close to the edge then, as now going up to the first turn as well. Sorry, I got missed off a work colleague there, and we'll swap that to one side for a minute because I'm a little busy. We're now coming up to turn 2 as well, and Curly Red then coming through the S's then, and let's see now, as you can see, he's building up the hill as well, and you can see it's such a difficult first sector, isn't it? You have to have your car planted, don't you? And as now we're going That's now going through Dunlop as well, and getting very close to the edge of the track there, Curly Red is. And now before flicking it into the first of the Degnas, and we've got a yellow flag in the first sector there. I think it's one of the McLarens. They're just pulling out the way then. Curly Red then is 8th position at the moment. He's done a 30. He is on the soft compound tires, the Red Bull driver is. And now accelerated away as away he goes then. Emerson saying you could sell Seaman for a decent amount, I reckon. I gotta say, David Seaman went for a decent amount, didn't he? I think he went to Man City, didn't he, after Arsenal? Of course, I'd say he was a cracking goalkeeper, wasn't he? Unfortunately, though, I still am haunted of the Brazil-England game back in the World Cup 2002. So enough said about that, because I'm starting to really tear up about that. Curly Red there has abandoned his lap then, so we're leaving to it for the minute. Irish Potato, though, who hasn't abandoned his lap at all. He's currently 4th fast moment. He's feeling a bit it looks like he's feeling a bit fragile there on the 29.5 then. Potentially that might have got him through. Marcus Rashford has just said golf sucks, lol. I kind of we've also got Nuda saying it takes 5 minutes to hit a ball. So yeah, to be honest, I don't watch golf really, so there we go. I think I've only ever bought one golf game, which was Tiger Woods' PGA 2007, something like that. Anyway, enough about that. We're getting right off topic here tonight. I mean, goodness me. Of course, we are at we're at one of the most finest racetracks in the world there, as Nude Potato is coming back in the pits now, isn't he? And he is just slowing down then. What about the Haas then of Rafael, I think it is, who's starting us up as well? We've got a racing point out there as well. That's Ayrton. Ayrton goes to the 10th fast. He's scraping through into qualifying for the moment. What about the Mercedes? And the Mercedes area of Mike has just gone through as well. Fantastic stuff, Ben. We had a car, I'm sure we had a car. It's Curly Red there who has got a problem. Bradfield is starting us up as well. He got 33 seconds ago. Dead Rabbit is I think he's 33 seconds off the pace, and he's coming in the pits there. Lucius, who's only just joined us, unfortunately has been robbed of an attempt of going through in the qualifying free. Smithy D coming out of the triangle chicane, accelerates in the way, car 95. Let's see what he can do then. Dead Rabbit's retired from the session. Smithy D is in 4th position. A fantastic last gasp effort there. Brilliant stuff indeed then. What about Curly Red? Curly Red, I think, is done, unfortunately. He is done. Rafa, he is trying to get through on those medium compound tires then. And now then he's coming through into Spoon as well then. Let's see what Rafa could do then, as he's now coming up to Spoon then. You can see dropping down there. It's a very awkward corner. Spoon as he's gone wide, not wide enough though to invalidate his time. Good stuff indeed there for Rafa, making his debut tonight. Very much right on the money there. Lovely stuff from the half side and climbing up the hill then into the 130 yards right then. And I doubt he's going to break even with these medium tyres. And you can see the momentum slightly dulled, didn't it? But that was about it. We've got a Red Bull in front of us. I think that's Curly Red then. Rafa very neat and tidy through the triangle chicane. Is this going to be enough then? We're on board for him. Curly Red might be out. Oh, he's I don't know what's happening. He's slowed down. Rafa's in the 12th position. Ayrton's in the pits. What about Bradfield? Oh, goodness me. He's going a bit wide there in the first part of the triangle chicane now. And now he's coming on to the very bumpy end of the lap. And then Bradfield is through into qualifying free. He has knocked Curly Red out of qualifying. Good stuff indeed there. As Mars is just going over the chicane now. Brilliant stuff indeed there from Bradfield there. He is through into qualifying free. Fantastic stuff indeed. Then we have lost Curly Red, Rafa, Ayrton, Dead Rabbit and Lucius. Unfortunately, we was robbed of Lucius having a crack going through in the qualifying free then. And And it looks like that, yeah, I think the Rafa might have run out of fuel there. Even though, having said that, when I was on board with him, I didn't see the fuel light flashing. But then again, I do miss quite a lot of things there. So, yeah, very much really, yeah. So I'm not sure if that's the case or not. Then is it? But anyway, that's unfortunate for Rafa. He is out of qualifying, and he'll be starting 12th on the grid then for the race coming up later on here in Japan. Then Curly Red is 11th. 13th is Ayrton, another good performance from Ayrton then. 14th position is Dead Rabbit, and unfortunately Lucius didn't set a time then. As Smithy D there is really crawling then back to the pits, and he is he is very much out of fuel there, isn't he? You can see then I've taken the old road coming in the pits. I remember the pit entry was a lot more extended, wasn't it, back in the late 90s, wasn't it? It was very much a mini circuit to get in there, wasn't it? And I remember on the old games I used to ricochet coming into the pits there. I used to lose my wing and everything. Not as bad as the Brazilian pit entry, if anyone remembers that. Goodness me, that was rather tight indeed, tighter than my wallet, as I can be very tight on money, but yeah, that was very tight indeed, wasn't it? Look at that, we've got some dull clouds coming over there, haven't we? Oh goodness me then, as now then we are now getting into qualifying 3 now. We've got a sprinkler rain. We had a sprinkler rain this time yesterday in qualifying 2 for silver, didn't we? We're going to get the same but later on for qualifying 3. I kind of hope not, because that might take a bit of the sting out of this incredible qualifying session as well. Anyway, we're going into qualifying 3 as well then. Let's just take a final look at the guys that we starting 11th to 15th then. Lucius in 15th position, Dead Rabbit 14th, Ayrton in 13th, Rafa 12th, and Curly Red is in 11th position then. The guys in the top 10 then is Sean Hammers, Mike, Forza, Velocity, Bradfield, Nude Potato, Smithy D, Maz, F1 and Gurmud. And you can see we've got soft tires for F1, Maz, Smithy D, Bradfield and Mike then, and everyone else in there has got the medium compound tire. This is going to be good stuff indeed then. Anyway then, there's just taking a quick look then, as just taking a quick look then, yeah, unfortunately Emerson, they're saying unlucky bro, points scored, points can be scored in the race, so good stuff indeed. And Ayrton saying disappointed, I know, but I can be faster. Nunda saying unlucky teammate, and Marcus Rashford saying no, you did it right. Mike saying Q3, I didn't expect to get out Q1. Darren saying a long dangerous race, Ayrton, you got this. Nunda saying guess it's worth us watching you. It really is indeed. Of course, I love all your comments and everything like that. I would like to know who else you think is going to do well, and who is going to be on pole position. Actually, I've got to say it's very difficult to call, isn't it? Can New Potato get his second pole position of his career? And what about everyone else? And then everyone else, I don't think it's ever been on pole position ever here in bronze. Then, or I think anywhere else in ALR. So very interesting stuff indeed, then, isn't it? So now then we are coming out of the pits now already, and Mazda is also out as well. We've got both Toro Rossos out right out on the money there. Velocity on a much better time here in bronze he did in silver last night, didn't he? Those clouds are very ominous to say the least, and I think you need to be out quite quickly then, as there's no messing about in this qualifying session here tonight then. It is very dull, isn't it? We're going to have to get the flashlights on in a minute, isn't it? It's getting very dark, and we're on board with Velocity as he's climbing up the hill as well. And let's see what he's doing. Of course, these are preparation laps there as we're coming through Dunlop as well. Of course, we've had a couple of big incidents in Dunlop, haven't we, over the past couple of days then. And you can see we've got a bit of sunshine still up there, but I think the clouds are dominating now, and they are really dominating the proceedings as well. Rafa saying he made a mistake in sector 1, and what a shame for Rafa. He could have potentially been in his first qualifying 3 session, in his debut as well here tonight. So fantastic stuff from Rafa. He sounds a bit disappointed though, but I think it's been a very good, very good qualifying performance to say the least. And remember, as Emerson said there, points get scored in the race as well, doesn't it? Even though I was talking about it the other day actually, about perhaps having points scored in qualifying, wasn't there? Not sure what you guys think there as well, because we do have point for fast lap now, don't we? So perhaps maybe you have a bonus point for pole position. Of course, I think Formula 2 don't they have bonus point for pole position, or 4 points for pole position? I can't remember, something like that. Something in the back of my head, something like that. As Ayrton saying, same to you, Kusa. We've also got Darren saying, you did a good job, Rafa. GG, bro. We've also got Nunda saying, if it rains James, I officially hate Suzuka. I'm glad you like my helmet, Sean. I do love your helmet. Now we're coming now on board with Velocity as he climbs up the hill then. And you can see then, look at these S's then. They're just never ending, that they. It's like a snake going up here, that is there. And hopefully, of course, the opposite way to snakes and ladders, really, isn't it? Of course, instead of going down the snake, you're going up the snake. Now through Degner. No, it's through Dunlop now coming into Degner. You guys are getting me too excited. You guys are getting me too excited. I'm getting lost of the getting lost of where we are on the track map. Goodness me. And Velocity then is going to be the first one to cross the line. I'm keeping an eye on the sky there, of course, as there's a bit of a lock up there for Velocity there. He didn't lose any rotation in the car though, so that is fine. That is fine and dandy. And now then it's yellow flag as that's one of the Renaults there is Parcher on the exit turn one. I think Swiffy D is just coming on the pits there. F1 2019 is in the pits at the moment there. Is he going to is that going to be a problem there? We'll find out then. It's now then as Energetics is very disappointed in Rafa there. We have also got Energetics is listed twice voice fast driving brilliant 17th then. Rafa saying he hates Suzuka with or without the rain then. Velocity then is coming up to the coming to the triangle chicane as well then. Not taking too much curb. That is very nicely done for Velocity. Out of the final corner then, turn 18 then, coming perilous even though it's quite easily flat, and he is faster than he's done a 28.859. Good stuff indeed. Well, but the second Toro also of Mars, he goes second fast, he's done a 29. Good stuff indeed then. And we got a Red Bull who is second fast at the moment there, and he has done a 28.9 so far. Nude Potato is third fast at the moment there, as the cloud covers are really starting to come over here in Suzuka. And now what about Hammer at home, and he goes into fifth fast. Lovely stuff indeed then, as well done. Mike is in sixth position at the moment. Brilliant 17th then. Forza and Bradfield, they're coming through the final turn as well. So here comes Bradfield first. He is sixth fastest, just stuck in front of Mike then. Forza then is coming out of the turn 18 as well, hugging the inside. He goes fifth fastest in the McLaren as well. Outlets for F1 there, and also Swiffy D as well then. Wow, brilliant stuff indeed to say the least. That is as we're now coming into the final chicane then, and away you go then. And now Smithy D then, let's see what he did then. Goes over the grid hatch and he starts up now. Let's go on board with Smithy D then in the Renault. Then he's done very well for Renault so far, hasn't he? Really well done indeed there. He's scored he's in 2 races, well 3 races he's been on the he's been in the same place twice actually. I think he's finished 7th. Oh no, and that is not good at all, is it, for that's not good at all, is it, for for Smithy D. He is invalid. It's time to have to go around again. Unfortunately, that's an extra lap on those soft tires, that isn't it? And now then he is now coming up the hill then at F1 2019. Let's see what he can do then. We're on board then with F1 2019, making his debut here tonight, isn't he? He hasn't raced for 2 months, has he? But he's coming in here tonight then, and he is in Q3 straight from the off end. He might have a bit of race rust, but let's see what he can do. He certainly hasn't lost any of the pace, has he? In that Alfa Romeo then. And he comes out to the line. He is about to start us up now. Let's go on board now with F1 2019. Take 2 then. Smithy D unfortunately ran a bit wide there and kind of ruined our enjoyment, didn't he? And probably his enjoyment as well. Velocity is currently the fastest man on the circuit. He's on pole position now, be his first pole position in bronze, which is fantastic, isn't it? F1 2019 though, it's coming at the hill of the S's now. Look at this then. Oh, you can see then the car was wanted to go the other way to F1 2019. He had to control the car there, didn't he? Going over the AstroTurf there, through Dunlop there. A very easy corner in the dry there, through down the one. Hold on to your seats. That is fantastic, isn't it? Going over the second deck as well, and now into the hairpin as well, dropping down into second gear there, just in first gear as well there for F1 2019, and a very good rotation of the car there through the hairpin. Beautiful stuff indeed then. And now then this very nothing right-hander then can be quite perilous in the wet, especially if there's standing water coming through. Oh no, and he's lost it, and F1 2019 has lost it into Spoon there, and the back end just stepped away. Spoon can be very difficult, can it? And oh, what a shame there for F1 2019. So he's going to be coming back in the pits then, and put on a new set of soft tires. I have no doubt about that then. And what a shame indeed there for F1 2019. They're really giving it his all there, wasn't he? And as you can see, he was purple. He wasn't purple in the second sector because unfortunately he spun off there, didn't he? Anyway, he's coming into the trunk chicane. So is he going to stay out, coming to the pits? I think that we're on board with him now. Then he is staying out. F1 2019 is that. So let's see what we can do again. Then F1 2019 coming over the grid hatches. We have take 2 then. Let's see what we can do as he comes up to turn 1. Turn 1 is more of an entry point into turn 2. Is it? Look at that. That's an incredible commitment there from the Alfa Romeo. Stepping on the throttle there as well. Coming up to the S as well. Then. And here we go then once again. Then this is a roller coaster, isn't it? Of a track. It's absolutely brilliant, isn't it? And now then it's these are very difficult to get right. If you get one of the S's wrong, then it is just a never-ending spiral of danger and disaster, isn't it? All the time that you lose in 0.2 of a second in the first sector, they're flicking it through the first techno. Incredible stuff indeed. They're coming up to the hairpin as well. Of course, Danny Fia had a big old smash there in 2015 in his Red Bull racing. Of course, that was when Red Bull wasn't a part of the Honda family, wasn't it? So I think the Japanese fans would have been a bit more devastated by that, wouldn't they? Coming down to Spoon as well. This is where he lost it last time out. Let's see if he changes his approach then. And again, I thought he was going to spin around again there, but not at all there for F1 2019. And now he is coming out of Spoon, and as he flies up to the 130R as well then. And here he comes as well. Then we've also got laps now for Velocity and German. We've got outlaps there for New Potato, and we've Sean Hammers, Mike, and Smithy D as well. Smithy D hasn't set a time yet. I'm surprised F1 2019 didn't come in, change tyres and go back out. He is coming through the final turn as well. Let's see what he can do. Is he on the money? He is second fastest there, only just by 300ths of a second. Very different time between F1 2019 and Velocity. Give it his all there. I wonder if that extra lap on the soft tyres might have been the difference maker there. But wow, that was very good stuff indeed then. I wonder if he's going to have a cool down lap as well then before going for it again then. 4/10 of a second. German is up. That is enough for pole position for German then. Let's see as he comes up to the 130R as well then. He is 0.8 of a second up. This is a stupendous lap for German. He's never on pole position in his bronze career, but he has won 2 races, hasn't he, in fine style. He comes out of the triangle chicane. We got yellow flags for the McLaren coming out of the second Degner. German is over the line. It's pole position there by 0.7 of a second from the Red Bull. Fantastic stuff indeed. Velocity is coming into the pits there, so it looks like he's had a pole in second sector there. He's only got 2.5 minutes to go there, so at the moment German is back on pole position as it stands. Sean Hammers there is coming for the first Degner. We've also got Mike, who's also for the first Degner as well there, so we're keeping an eye on both these drivers there. So Sean Hammers coming into the crossover now, and he's now coming to the hairpin then, and he is 7 fast moment. He's done a 29.4 and getting very wide there, isn't he? Of course there's a bit of bank in there, isn't it? So it shouldn't lose you too much time then. Of course you need a good exit from the hairpin because of this long straight, isn't it? You ain't going to be breaking now until the entry of Spoon as well. And there it is, and of course it's such a quick corner, Spoon, isn't it? You're still in the 100-mile-an-hour mark, aren't you? In Spoon then. Sean Hammers gets accelerates out as well then. Lovely shot here from Sean Hammers' half then, and you can see then he is touching 8th gear now. Look at that, he's in the almost 200 miles an hour. 194 miles an hour is on the speedometer there, and he's coming up into the chicane as well then, as I think there's Red Bull gone off there. Is Spoon now thinking of German, who is just getting on the way. Hammers is hovering at home. He is still 7 fast moment there, as now Mike has gone to 8 fastest in the Mercedes, and good stuff indeed there. Now we got Smithy D, who is also who is on a lap as well, and as yellow flags are fluttering all around the circuit at the moment there, but we'll ignore that. We're just more concentrated on the cars there, aren't we? Smithy D then is now into the final sector as well. He's done a 12 in the second sector. How is that going to be compared to the other drivers as well? We're about to find out. We're just 2 corners from home now, and here he goes as well then. Lovely bit of precision driving there from Smithy D. Is it going to be enough to improve? He is 8 fast at the moment for the Renault driver of 29.5 as well. We've got 14 seconds left in this session then, as a New Potato starts his lap now then as well. We've got a McLaren of Forza who is also starting his lap. He is indeed then. We got, I think, the other McLaren of Bradfield. There is the Red Bull German, who's currently on pole position. Can anyone beat German at the moment? It looks like no one is at the moment now, as German is very much in his own postcode. New Potato has gone second fast on a 28.5 there. Bradfield is gone in front of his teammate Forza. A good lap there from Bradfield. Hats off. That was a good lap indeed then. Sean Hammers there is a 9/10 of a second off off, unfortunately. Then what about Mars? Then Mars is also accelerated as well as I think Velocity might not make it home there, unfortunately. So I think he was on an outlap actually. What about Mike then? So Mike is invalidated this time then in the Mercedes, and so unfortunately Mike is going to be 10th. And I think that's still a very good time. And who's out of Smithy D, who's off the track there in the second deck now. He might have been just get out of the way actually then, so it might be more drama than it might not been much drama, so I can make out then. And here we go then, coming through is Maz is 6 seconds down then as well. They all seem to be falling by the wayside, isn't it, as we come into the final stage as well. Then there's a new potato then might also be done as well, isn't he? And as he got into a 28.5 in the end then, but I don't think it wasn't enough, was it? Forza is still on a lap then, so can Forza really rattle the cages of the men who are top of the timesheet at the moment? German is on pole position with new potatoes alongside on row 1. I'm loving that first row. That's a brilliant first row, isn't it? Forza now into the triangle chicane then, tickling the 60-mile-an-hour mark once again and accelerating away. Let's see what he can do then. He comes up to the line. Is it going to be enough? It's third fastest on the grid then. A great end to the heart there from Forza. Brilliantly done there indeed then. And I think that is it then. And a great drive and a great pole position for German. That's his first pole position of his bronze career. Fantastic stuff indeed then. And potentially he could take the lead in the championship, but of course he needs a 12-point swing at the moment, doesn't he? Which, as it stands at the moment, that ain't going to happen if they stay where they start. But will they stay where they start? Oh, I highly doubt it. Especially in this track. This track can be a very, as a Blazers left for session there, which is not a good time at all, is it, for Blazers? Unfortunately, he's left for session just as we're about to start. Blazers starting 19th on the grid down the Williamson, so that's not good at all, is it? Right then, we have now finished qualifying then, and that is it then. So now we get onto the race. Well, this is where the point, this is where the prizes are now going to be awarded, aren't they? And who is going to be winning the Japanese Grand Prix? And hopefully it'll have a bit more of a sunny day than what we got at the moment there, because I've got to say the conditions out there look very murky indeed, don't they? As I'm just quickly going back through the comments, Darren saying he did the same thing last night. I think that was in relation to the F1 2019 spin and spoon there from 2019 in 5th position at the moment now. Nuna said a good comeback though from F1 though. It was a very good comeback as well. I wonder if he might have should have changed to go into a different tyres. Darren saying then I could never get near the TT times purely through nerves and force the D-pad master indeed. And good luck. Bronze guys as well from Darren as well. Great stuff indeed there, as we're just counting down then to the end of qualifying as and there it is indeed then. So we're now at the end of this qualifying session, and we are now going to get ready for the race. So Maslow's there with the Ayrton Senna helmet, and Ayrton Senna is quite synonymous around here, isn't he? With his 1988 driving that McLaren was absolutely brilliant, wasn't it? Let's take a look at the gaps then from qualifying 3. Fantastic. German, his first pole position of his bronze career. Fantastic stuff. Alongside him is Noon Potato, but the 3 tenths of second is incredible, isn't it? Forza right up there in third position for the McLaren. Velocity was holding that after the first round, but unfortunately he didn't get a second time lap in F1 2019 there, in 5th position there. Maslow's in 6th, Bradfield is 7th, and 8th is Hammers, 9th is Smithy D, with Mike completing out the top 10. And here we go then, we are now going to get ready for the race itself then. So hope you're all strapped in and ready to go. This is going to be a fine race to say the least, isn't it? We're now just loading up and we're going to get going in just a few moments time then as well. As I'm just actually resting my voice, to be honest, because goodness me, I'm already stoned on it already. Goodness me, I've only just done about an hour. Gosh, we've got a long way to go as well. And again, it's a very murky day here in Suzuka, isn't it? And goodness me, that is not good at all, is it? Really, for anyone out there as well. I'm wondering if there's going to be a bit of rain in the air, isn't it? As I said, we had rain in qualifying yesterday, didn't we? Which really spiced things up between qualifying 2 and qualifying 3. But in the race, well, we haven't had any rain in the race yet, have we? But anyway, the drivers are now just getting themselves getting their strategies going, and we'll be and of course they're going to be out on track in just a few minutes time as well. Then I'd like to hear what your thoughts then of who is going to be who's going to be mastering this this Japanese Grand Prix circuit. I got to say it's going to be fantastic, isn't it? So we're almost ready to go, and let's get well, we're almost ready to get going, and we're just waiting for the lights then. But before we even get to the lights, we got to get to through the formation lap first. haven't we? There's only 19 cars, and unfortunately with Blas, who is unfortunately out of the race, and as he left the session unfortunately there, didn't he? Which was a bit of a shame really for Blas, wasn't it? But nevertheless, then we are now then in the race itself. Then, well, no, we haven't. We're in the qualifying session itself, haven't we? But we'll be in the race itself in just a few moments' time. We've got 27 laps around here around this Japanese Grand Prix circuit. This is going to be good stuff indeed. Then this is one of the best racetracks in the world. I put up there with Spa, with Monza. They're incredible tracks, aren't they? The old school circuits, isn't it? Of course, back in the 80s, where Ayrton Senna was a brilliant around here as well, wasn't he? And we even had that incredible drive from Damon Hill in '94 as well. Enough about yesteryear. It's all about today then, and let's go for the grid then. On pole position then is Gurman, his first pole position of his bronze career. Fantastic stuff. Nude Potato is alongside him on row 1 then, and then we have Forza in third position with Velocity in fourth position as well, and they're all on the medium tires. F1 2019 returning back to ALR after a 2-month absence. Of course, he drove for silver. Now he's in the bronze league. We got a Velocity. That seems to be his trademark, as he is spun off the track there on the formation lap as well. Just waiting for the cars to get around there. Mazda's in 6th position. He is on soft with F1 2019. Watch them launch off the grid then. 7th position is Bradfield. Sean Hammers is in 8th position then. 9th position is Smithy D with Mike in 10th position. Look how bunched up they are on this formation lap. Sean Hammers is on the medium tires there. He could be swamped there as he's around a lot of soft compound runners there, isn't he? 11th position is Curly Red. 12th position is Rafa on his debut. Ayrton in 13th position. Dead Rabbit is in 14th. 15th position is Lucia. 16th is Collins, who is also I think he's on the grid, isn't he? No, I think he's also not in the race either. Oh dear. Nunda is 17th. We've had 2 DNSs then. 18th position is Gunnar, 19th position is Blas, and 20th is RDW. Darren is saying that Velocity loves his formation spins, doesn't he? I think he's just trying to get his tires up to temperature, isn't he? Right then, here we go then. This is going to be a cracking watch, isn't it then? So buckle yourself up, guys. Guys and girls, this is going to be a fantastic race, isn't it? Here in Japan, it's a real racer circuit, isn't it? If you go around here, then you know your quality driver. RDW then is on the back road. We haven't seen him since Q1 after he came a cropper, didn't he, in Dunlop as well then, as the lights are now going to be, just waiting for the light centers. We're on board then with the man who's on pole position. Now is his run going down into turn 1 then, as the tension is building. We're just waiting for those lights in as well, and there is the final car. Velocity in shot now then, and here we are then. We got 4, we got 5, there will be a pause, and we are going Japan in a minute. We are going Japan then, as Collins is on a fantastic start, and we are go! Oh, it's a terrible start for the McLaren there. I think that's Forza who's dropped down to 6 already. And already we have Potato who is through. New Potato is taking the lead. Then he's taking the march set. And Gurman in second. Velocity is in third position. We got contact in the rear. Lucius has gone off the track then. And Lucius once again on problems there. Sean Hammers has got a major collision there. Virtual safety car already from the offset. As that was a bit of an appalling start there, wasn't it? As Nunda is also dropping down the order as well. Having a bit of lag going on there, isn't he? Oh goodness me then. So we got a virtual safety car. Everyone has to adhere to the Delta at the moment, don't they? Collins and Blads unfortunately didn't start the race. They are stuck in the garage then. So we got a virtual safety car then, so they have to adhere to the Delta on their steering wheels at the moment then. And this is trying to neutralise the race without giving anyone a advantage then. And that virtual safety car should come in just a few moments. Now we're back racing then. Potato leads. Second is Gurman. He was on pole position. Unfortunately, he's just dropped away, hasn't he? Velocity in first position. We got F1 2019 in fourth. We got Mazda's in fifth. Bradfield 6th. And we got Forza 7th. Rafa is in 8th position. Mike in 9th position. Then 10th position is Dead Rabbit. Then we got Ayrton up to 11th position. Gunnar's 12th position. But goodness me, Smithy D and Curly Red are all over the back of each other, getting very interested. Almost into the rear there with Smithy D. Oh goodness me then. And now they're coming out Spoon. Gurman. It's Gunnar who has got off the track there. Goodness me, he's gone back to Ireland as he has dropped down the order as well. Lucius is now up into 70 position, but both Ferraris once again having terrible issues out here. Lap 1 is coming up to be completed now, and look at the gap there. It's 1 second already. Curly Red is up the inside of Smithy D, or is he? He is indeed. And Sean Hammers is also having a good old look as well. Coming out of the triangle chicane then. Wow, fantastic start indeed then. 6/10 of a second the gap is between Gurman and New Potato. New Potato is pretty good in race trim, isn't he? And as now we got RD Wee and Nunda, who are really close to the back of Sean Hammers. And oh my goodness me, that really wrong-footed RD Wee, didn't he? I thought he went into the back of Sean Hammers. Goodness me, he almost went to the diffuser. So my goodness me, they're going to go through into side by side into the S's. Oh my goodness me. And now then, so hopefully they can cut. He's on the outside. Brilliant, fantastic, but Sean Hammer swoops back through. No, he hasn't. It's RD Wheeler swoop back through. Incredible driving, and he goes over the curve as well. Sean Hammers has got problems there. He's got a lot of damage on that Haas, hasn't he? And they're coming through Dunlop and into Degner 1 as well. Look at that. It's just confirmation. The understeer from that Haas is quite... Oh no, that's a Williams in the wall there. That's under the crossover. RD Wee there has definitely gone for a wee spin now, hasn't he? Unfortunately, has he damaged the car? No, he's okay then. Oh goodness me! Then now we got now Hammers has now got to defend against the racing points of Nunda, and Lucia said he's also trying to come back through the field as well. Back on board the Friday, and so coming to Spoon then. The gaps up and down the field then are quite relatively steady. Sean Hammers is off the track then. He is going to have to come in the pits, I feel, then, because that there's a lot of wing damage as well. Also going onto the gravel as well, and so not good at all. Ayrton's all over the back of Dead Rabbit at the moment, and so is Rafa all over the back of Forza. Forza on the Poland start, didn't he? He was on the medium compound tire, but unfortunately that didn't unfortunately, of course, that would have given less grip going on the line, and DRS has been enabled. The drag reduction system, that was when the rear wing opens, isn't it? Lovely shot here from Ayrton then, as we're on board with the side there of the Racing Point car, and flying into turn 1, and I'm loving that shot indeed. Dead Rabbit has got up to 10th position then. Pretty good stuff indeed there. Just taking a look at the winners and losers there from the opening stint of this race then. New Potato has gone, of course, has taken the lead then of this Grand Prix. Forza dropping down 4 positions. Out 4 positions is Rafa. My goodness me, he's took off like a scoring cat there, hasn't he? Fantastic. We've also got Nunda up 4 positions as well, but RD Wee is up 5 positions, albeit he had a spin just later on in the race as well. Hammers is now in the pits. He's gone the soft tires. That is of course the grippiest, more quickest of the tire selection out here at the moment, as they coming under the crossover as well. The only figure of 8 circuit on the Grand Prix calendar, as Ayrton is going on the inside. Oh goodness me, that goal on the curb there, and straggling the curb as well, isn't he? And now we got Curly Red then, who's been involved in all kinds of shenanigans so far in this race, hasn't he? He's been very much in the thick of the action. He's been star of the show here in Japan. Fantastic stuff indeed. And he's going to go into the inside of Ayrton, into the Spoon. Oh my goodness me, a carbon copy of what happened between Murphy and Sam in the race on Sunday there. And unfortunately then Curly Red has been spun around there as Ayrton held his line there, and unfortunately that was it's very difficult into Spoon, isn't it? Really is indeed there. Of course it is like that. It's shaped like a spoon, isn't it? And now we're coming through. New Potato is stretching his legs out up to 9/10 second, but he's still in DRS. Here comes F1 2019 all over the back of Velocity, at some Velocity as well. They're side by side. F1 2019 on the soft tires, and lovely shot here is on the outside. He takes third position. Fantastic stuff indeed then. Also Forza is 6th, and Bradfield is 7th with Rafa in 8th position as well. Forza is trying to fend off the guys on the soft tires, aren't they? Because of course they're on the grippier tires as it stands at the moment. Climbing up the S's once again, and we're on board Rafa, making his debut here tonight. Rafa has said he was feeling a bit aggrieved in qualifying, wasn't it, after he made a mistake, but my goodness me, he is doing a very good job in this race at the moment, isn't he? As a Velocity is now just he's on the outskirts of the corner there, isn't he? And then now he's got Mazda so very much on his rear gearbox as well, isn't he? As they come into the hairpin, is he going to have a lunge? Not quite then. So lock up there for Velocity then. He doesn't want to be doing that too much because his tires will look like 50 pence pieces by the end of this stint then. Velocity is on the medium tires. We were expecting him to go a very long way, to say the least, as Darren has just said. I'm not going to mention debutantes. It's always a curse. It really is, isn't it? I think I'm really playing with fire there, and perhaps I should. I'm going to leave. I feel I'm going to leave the debutantes alone for this moment. For this start of the race at the moment. A New Potato then could potentially be stretching his in the championship then over, of course, over Gurman and Energetics. It's a yellow flag in 2 as one of the Ferraris is having some issues there under the bridge. Then I think it is. I think it might be Gunnar. It is Gunnar down in 70 position. this moment having some issues, isn't he? And they're coming out of the triangle chicane then, as Bradfield's rear end there is getting very slippery there. It's very flighty. He's got a bit of a light rear end there, isn't it? I wish I had a light rear end, to say the least, as they come over the grid. Hatchins there, and let's look at the two Toros. They're very close together, and to say the least then. And in the background, Rafa there is really trying to rattle the cage out of the two McLarens at the moment. He is not doing so just yet. This is the battle between the two Toro Rosso teams, of course, formerly known as the Minardi's, wasn't it? Until they had to sell it back in 2005, because Minardi was one of my favourite teams, of course. They brought in the likes of Fernando Alonso, Mark Webber, Giancarlo Fisichella, Jarno Trulli, and as along with others as well, and also Tarso Marquez, the legendary Tarso Marquez, the Brazilian. As now then, so coming up into the hairpin, these soft tires are now how are the soft tires doing? Yellow flag in a free, as the Ferrari there is really struggling now. I think Sean Hammers is very much going to be alongside Gunnar. He is alongside Gunnar on board. Then is now he goes through up into 18th position, sorry, 17th position now. Gunnar drops down to 18th. Two retirements so far. We have lost Blas, and we have also lost Collins as well out of this race. What a shame indeed that. And now it's 1.3 seconds as they come up to the crest hill, coming up to the 130R, flying through the 130R now as well. Lovely stuff indeed that. Rafa is oh goodness me, he's now a stone's throw away from Bradfield, isn't he? He flies through the 130R. Oh my goodness me, it's all over the back of the McLaren. That is the McLaren there, is just taking the race line. Oh, and there's Rafa there, almost taking two wheels on the dirt there, and really control that car very nicely indeed then. And unfortunately lost the momentum though, didn't he? And now Forza is starting to find his feet now, isn't he? It seems like the soft runners are starting to struggle perhaps then, as a Mazda's there going to the inside then, and then back on the race line there, which might have wrong-footed the wrong foot, the McLaren driver there perhaps then. And now we're coming out to the S's once again then. Rafa is 4/10 of a second away from Bradfield at the moment. And we've also got RDWE and won the racing points there, also having a good old scrap as well. RDWE on the hard compound tyres. I apologise, I should have said that a lot earlier, but I do miss these very important details in races, don't I? So you have to bear with me, guys, then, because at the moment I'm really struggling already. I've got sweat going down my brow. Once again, I might need one of those sweatbands or something. I might have to. Oh goodness me! I thought the Rafa there was going to spin off there and having an Eddie Irvine kind of shunt there. Of course, Irvine crashed there in 1999, didn't he? When he was battling with Mika Hakkinen for the Drivers' Championship, wasn't it, in Suzuka? There was a tense out affair, to say the least. That Gurman has got a 3-second penalty. The man who was on pole position, really strong for race pace at this stage of proceedings, isn't he? And now they come out Spoon as well. Then Rafa is then, of course, dropping down the hill before rising back up to the 130R. And Gunnar is having real problems there in that Ferrari there. He is he's in the dirt there, the gravel I should say, as we got a virtual safety car then. Everyone has to adhere to the doubts of that. Is everyone going to roll the dice and come into the pits? And that is the question at this moment in time then. And look at this queue of cars, and this is going to get very interesting, isn't it? Gunnar is out of the race then, and so that's a shame for Gunnar. He's gone out of the race there in the as F1 2019 has rolled the dice. He's coming to pit set. What tires is he going to go on then? And he is swapping onto the medium compound tires there for the Alfa Romeo then, so he's in and out, and he should be away as well. Of course, the virtual safety car, he won't lose as much time if there was at full racing speed then. Curly Red is coming down the pit straight as well. There's the Ferrari then, so he's out behind Lucius. F1 2019 is as well. RDW then is in 40 position with Nunda, is ghosting at the moment, and it's the Smithy in 70 position. Sean Hammer's also trying to come back as well. Virtual safety car still out. It's a very long period of time, isn't it? Of course, when Gunnar usually retires, he usually brings out the full safety car. I think that's the first time in a couple of races that he hasn't brought the virtual safety car out, the full safety car, has he? Anyway, then it's now we're back at the bridge as well. Darren is absolutely devastated about Gunnar out of the race, and in the Ferrari. And of course, Gunnar had a very strong start to the championship, hasn't he? But unfortunately, he's having a couple of issues now. That's our third retirement in the Japanese Grand Prix, unfortunately. So that's such a shame, isn't it? On board then with Rafa then. He is the last car in this train at the moment, which is headed up by Maslets at the moment in the Toro Rosso. Then we've got Forza second. Third position is Bradfield, and then we have Rafa, who is very much all over the gearbox, listening to the two McLarens there. And once again, they're rising up to the back of the two McLarens on the Toro Rosso. Once again, Maslets is dropping back. He's now 3 seconds more or less behind behind his teammate, and Bradfield is defending, and Rafa tried to go on the outside again then, but Bradfield there doing a good job. Ooh, Rafa taking too much of the curve there, didn't he? And really was half spin. F1 2019 is now second behind Lucius, as he is now the only man to pit under that virtual safety car. Is that going to be good or not? Then we'll find out now, as Forza is through, past, and now Haas is through as well, and great stuff indeed there from Rafa. He's on the outside, then Bradfield is trying to stay on the inside. Brilliant pass there for Rafa, good pass from Forza as well. Forza is up into fourth position, then Mazda is dropping down to fifth position then, from 3.1 seconds ago. Oh, he spun it, he is off 30 SSR. We was on board with Rafa, wasn't it? It felt like that he was really strong with that car, wasn't he? As that car was getting very slippery, wasn't it? Slippery like a sneak, wasn't it? And anyway, then he is trying to get back on the circuit now as well, and there he goes, and he's dropped all the way down to 13th and lost all the momentum, hasn't he? Ayrton at the moment is close to the back of Dead Rabbit and Ayrton are now in the points set, doing a spectacular job, and yellow flagging one again, as it's one at Rafa who's off again. Is it Dunlop this time? Is it the Dunlop curb? And he's trying to get himself back on track. Oh, he resets himself back to try, and he is good. Oh my goodness me, and look at that, F1 2019, I think he's gone the outside of Lucius. That's a fantastic manoeuvre there from the F1 2019. Brilliant stuff indeed there, as the Alfa Romeo are currently leading the construction at the moment, isn't it? As Nunda has just asked, could someone please invite him back in then? We thought that Nunda wasn't in the car, because he was ghosting a bit, wasn't he? And unfortunately he's out of the session. Can someone please invite him back in if possible then? Bad luck, Gunnar. Was room for you from down as well, so if anyone's in the session, I think Gunnar's left the session, and I'm not sure if anyone can invite him back in. If anyone can, that'd be much appreciated from Nunda's point of view, and from my point of view as well, because we want to see Nunda back in this race as well. Bradfield has gone soft here then, and of course there, I am not talking about his personality, I'm sure he's as hard as a nut, but I'm talking about his tyre choice then, as he has now gone the soft tyres once again then, hasn't he? And he is definitely going for more an attacker strategy here. He's coming out just behind the hard shot of RDW then. Those hard tyres are meant to go to a very long way into this race then, so so that might have to be fireworks as well. Rafa's in the pit as well, and those soft tyres are really strong at this stage of the race at the moment. Gunnar's just said cheers Darren Bud, as unfortunately Gunnar there is really streaming around the circuit, isn't he? I think it's a very difficult circuit to get right, isn't it? And if you don't have a good setup, then it can be a very painful race, to say the least. Ayrton is just trying to see if he can antagonise that rabbit in front of him at the moment, isn't he? But currently not having it at the moment there. Darren has just said, Nunda, try joining through the friends list, and that's a very good idea. That's a very good idea, Darren, indeed. That I think that you should be paid the big bucks there, my good man. As I didn't even figure that. Ayrton there is just coming out of Spoon then as well, and he's 9/10 of a second away from Dead Rabbit at the moment. F1 2019 is now less than a second behind Curdy Red as well, and that's another battle that we're going to keep our eyes on as well. We're on lap 10 out of 27 already. We got 17 to go in this race, ladies and gentlemen. It's been absolutely fantastic. 17. Gavin is going to invite Nunda back in. Nicely done there, Gavin. Really well done indeed then. It feels weird calling him Gavin, because I've always known him as Gunnar. Now that we're watching, it's a Mazda in the pits then. Ayrton is out of DRS10, but F1 2019 is in, so Mazda's in the pits, going on to the hard compound tyre there. Look how bumpy the straights were. F1 2019 Pierce from outside the rear wing there. He's up the inside, he passes the Red Bull. Good move there from F1 2019, and he is away and cooking. Lovely stuff indeed there from F1 2019 then. Now let's see what he could do then. So we've got a mix of strategies out there now, so this is where the racing drivers need to start to really think about this now, don't they? And try and work their way and see what's going on then, don't they? So Bradfield has to stop again, because the rules of the tyre strategies are that you must use two types of compounds, whether that is soft medium or soft or hard. It doesn't matter as long as you use two different types of tyres. That's all that matters, isn't it? A lovely bit of heat haze coming up there as well. Of course, it's been very dull, hasn't it, in the final half of qualifying and in the start of this race, hasn't it? It's very gloomy out there indeed then. And is that Nunda saying he still can't get in? What a shame there for Nunda. It really is, isn't it? He is down in 16th position at the moment then, and it's really hurting his race, isn't it? From there, he's going to have to, if he can't get back in, he's going to need a bit of a miracle, isn't he? And RDW then on the hard tires, and then he has now got to repel Bradfield now as well. And I got to say, I've just had some Milky Bar buttons just before I came on there. Now it's starting to repeat. And Noonda is back in. Fantastic stuff there. So good 17 there for Noonda. And look at Bradfield. He's got so much more purchase out of those soft tires. He is through. And up in the 12th position, lovely 17. Mike is in the pits there for the Mercedes team as well. And wow, there's good stuff indeed there from Bradfield there. Really good stuff indeed then. So he's got to do 2 stops on these tires then, so he might need a safety car to make it work then. Just be has put the wrong tires on again there. I think he might have done, so I'm just thinking now about the 2-stop strategy. May not work too well around here without a safety car of some description or another there, which might be a shame there for Bradfield, but nevertheless there's something might happen for Bradfield that might get him back into this race, hopefully anyway. RDW is on the hard tire then, so he's dropping back slightly now as well, as he is on the hardest tire, which means that of course that he hasn't got much grip. And goodness me, oh no, he's on the grass there, and luckily there's no grip out there, my good man, but he did a very good job there to keep himself on the old black top there, isn't it? As I sounded a bit American there, didn't I? Goodness me, I've been watching too much Recess, and we're coming into the hairpin as well then. So Bradfield then is on the soft tires, and he needs to make hay whilst the sun is shining, even though it is gloomy, isn't it, out there at the moment. Darren Dan Murphy said Goonard rejoined to invite Noonda, and of course Gavin is just inviting. Well done stuff, lovely good lovely stuff indeed there, fantastic. And we've also got Natalie in the comments as well, going hello, oh hey Sean, hey Natalie, hope you're well, and I hope you're enjoying this part of the race at the moment, which I gotta say it's a bit spread out at the moment in this race because of we've had a couple of pit stops that is occurring right now, and this is where they're all going to be spread out for now, and they will join back up in the later stages of the race then, which is going to make a absolutely fine finale, isn't it, to the Japanese Grand Prix then. Lucius has made his way up to 6th position. Fantastic stuff indeed there, really good stuff indeed there from Lucius when he was having a bit of a problem in the first opening couple of laps. And Dead Rabbit is now just behind his teammate then, so Mike is now up in, oh goodness me, and then Mike just took off my hairpiece then, as Mike then is in 10th position, and Dead Rabbit is in 11th position there, and 12th position is Ayrton. Ayrton's outlook may not have been as positive as what it could have been there. Maslets is on the hard tires, but he's dropped behind Bradfield, because Bradfield is really on a scorcher, isn't he? He is flying at the moment then, and doing a cracking job on Bradfield. As I said, he needs some kind of safety car, doesn't he, to get himself back on par with the rest of the field then. Rafa is left for session then. Rafa is right down, and oh dear, I think he's in the gravel, isn't he, Rafa is? And oh no, Yen, it's the other Haas, isn't it? It's Sean Hammers who's had a problem. Sean Hammers has had a problem in the Haas, and unfortunately he is dropping down the order as well. And Nude Potato is still flying out there at the moment. He is flying, isn't he? And he's a second in front of Gurman. Gurman is not letting him have his own race at the moment. There's good stuff indeed there. Ayrton is really trying to prove me wrong now, isn't he? He has decided to really turn up the wick there, isn't he? As unfortunately Dan is also just says I wear a hairpiece. It's called a toupee. And it's not ginger, it's autumn dawn there, or Moroccan sunset in the evenings as well then. And we're on board there with Ayrton as we're coming into the chicane once again then. Of course it is the triangle chicane as well then, and of course you've got to be neat and tidy for that, don't you? Ayrton there lost a bit of momentum, didn't he, which means he is now 6/10 of a second away then. Those 6/10 of a second are definitely a big gap at the moment as they come over the grid hatches once again. Look how bumpy that straight is, isn't it? They might need to get the old rolling pin out there and kind of smooth it off slightly, haven't they? So they're coming into turn 1 and 2 now. I love that shot there. Look at that, it's a floating camera. Absolutely brilliant stuff indeed then. We'll leave Ayrton to it for the moment, because I wonder if I'm distracted him there, as he's had a bit of a messy end to that lap then, so we'll leave him to it for now. So we're going to keep an eye on what Gurman does then. Of course Gurman is the first ever double winner in ALR bronze so far, and he got 2 race wins to his name there, and he's also got a pole position as well. Fantastic stuff indeed then. And then now he's coming up into the triangle chicane once again then. These medium tires we're expected to last slightly longer than the softs, of course, and so when are they going to come in is the question then. then, and how long are those soft tires going to last for? Nunda is doing a good job at the moment, but Gurman has really turned up the wick, hasn't he? He is in DRS range now. He is now as 5/10 of a second away there from the race leader at the moment, isn't he? Really good stuff indeed there. Coming through the second turn as well, before stamping on the throttle and burning their way up through the S as well. New Potato is very much on the back foot at the moment, isn't he? As Darren has just asked, did Dan get his friend request today? Of course, Dan is it's going to be the main man for Silver next season. So of course he is the main man anyway. But he's also going to be doing some hosting as well. Then, I hope he's a good host. I hope he's brought his tuxedo. Oh, we got a car! We got a car off the track. Then the short hammers. Both hasses are having a nightmare up there at the moment, aren't they? Oh dear, that's not good at all. So for Sean Hammers. So that's not good at all there. So for Sean Hammers, he's having a bit of a difficult spot in this race, isn't it? I think this is the first race where he's really struggled. Sean Hammers has, hasn't it? And which is unfortunate for Hammers, because I think he's up to this point in this season, he's been fantastic, hasn't he? Really consistent, to say the least, hasn't he? As now they come up the hill, then New Potato is definitely feeling Gurman's wrath, isn't he? They come into the 130R once again, then, and 6/10 of a second is between New Potato and Gurman at the moment. Rafa's back in the session. He's down in 17th position. Both horses are really struggling. Curly Red is also struggling as well. He has got to take 3-second penalty. Now then, look at this. And there's a New Potato there. It's just going to the inside there. And Gurman is staying to the outside, I think, because he wants to stay on the racing line there. He's not interested in using the slipstream at this moment in time, is he? And now he's going on the curb, and now they're burning their way up through the S's as well. Then we've just tipped over half distance here in this race, which is absolutely good for me, isn't it? Because I am absolutely sweating like if I was stood next to a salad bar. Of course, a man of my stature does not like salad one iota. So we're now half a second away from the New Potato and Gurman at the moment. This is incredible, isn't it? What a race! This is what you want to see, isn't it? Two drivers at the top of their performance, at the peak of their powers, battling here in Japan. There, isn't it? Of course, this is not really a playground, is it, for the overtakes, is it? So we're going to have to see some almighty bravery from one of these two drivers. Ayrton's now getting very interested on the back of Rabbit as well, isn't he? As he's now 3/10 of a second away from Dead Rabbit at the moment. They're just outside the points, and Ayrton is very close to the points at the moment, as is Dead Rabbit. Curly Red is 2.2 seconds away. Smithy D is kind of at no man's land at the moment on those hard tires, down in 14th position, unfortunately. He had a very good race last time out in the whatever race it was. I can't remember. What race was it last week? Gosh. Oh, America. Yes, I apologise. We was in Austin last week, weren't we? Ayrton's got a 3-second penalty as once again, then the curse of the commentators comes back to haunt me. Gurman is now definitely very much keeping the slipstream on. He wants to gain. Can he? The straightest is not long enough at the moment, is it? Murphy has just said there, lap 16 and 17 to pit for the guys on the medium tires. Very good information there from Murphy. So we're expecting these guys to come in the next couple of laps as well, and it's good. Of course, it's great to have you guys in the comments there. Of course, you guys are the experts there, and you need to, you kind of need to give me a poke in the right direction. Basically, more often than not, really, because I speak a load of rubbish. Coming through Dunlop once again, and into the Degna one there. I've got to say, I love Degna. When you get it right, it's an absolutely brilliant feeling, isn't it? As now just going to the under the crossover as well. Yellow flags. It's one of the McLarens is off. One of the McLarens is off. Who is it? It's Forza. Forza is off the track there. He's got off on the SS. That's a major player in this race there, and he has got a problem. He's got a major problem in the McLaren. Oh no, so Forza is off the track there. Oh dear, this is not good at all. Now Forza's been disqualified, then he is out of the Japanese Grand Prix, and that car is getting very dangerously closer to the racing line then, and Forza, that is unfortunate there, as he is out of the race, and he needs to get off the racing line. That's hurt the Mercedes driver, hasn't it, of Dead Rabbit, and that is not good at all. So Ayrton is definitely going to be interesting. That is so yellow flag in sector 1 for Forza. That was our fourth retirement in this race, isn't it? As Dead Rabbit is now very much feeling the pinch, isn't it? Oh my goodness me, Gurman is right under the rear wing then of the Alfa Romeo, and Red Bull mechanics are going to work, and they're changing those tires, and they're on the soft compound tires, and they're quicker than the hiccup, and they would come in the pits. Also hard tires as well then for the Alfa Romeo. Oh my goodness me, I think Gurman takes the lead, then the Red Bull mechanics are quicker. Gurman has taken the lead in the pits. Incredible stuff then. And now then as he comes out of the pits then, and Gurman has taken the lead, then the Red Bull mechanics then were quicker. We're quicker on that occasion. Wow, that's incredible, isn't it? As Dan has just confirmed that Forza's out of power cut. What a shame for Forza. He was right in the mix, wasn't he? F1 2019 coming out of the pits as well then, so he's gone on the soft tires then for the final stint then for F1 2019 and for two-stop strategy then for F1 2019. RDW is now up into 6th position, good 17, so 16 laps there, and there's a Mercedes then, and Mike then going on the outside then. Dead Rabbit is still in 9th position. Ayrton is still in 10th as well. Bradfield's now on the medium tires then to the end of this race. I don't think this two-stop strategy is going to work for Bradfield, but I've been wrong a lot of times, and I probably will be wrong on this occasion as well, perhaps. And I think hopefully for Bradfield's sake, I am wrong then. And look at Mike then. Look at the amount of purchase that F1's already got on those tires. He's going to go on the inside to Dunlop. My goodness me then. That is going to be a... Oh my goodness me. He's on the outside. That's a fantastic maneuver. Wow, what a move. What a move. What a move. That was incredible stuff there from F1 2019. Wow, that was absolutely sublime. And I got to say... that was mega. I'm lost for words, and that was one of the best overtakes you will ever see. Yes, he was on the soft tires, and of course so. But even with the grip advantage, he still had to have the nerves and the bravery to go around on the outside. That was brilliant stuff indeed. There, really well done indeed. Then as Gurman takes the lead, then as was in the pits, obviously overtook, didn't he? Velocity is coming on the pits now, then. But we have got a ghost of Haas coming down the pits as well. Then, and we've got Lucius, who's on the medium tires in the background. He is in fourth position, well, he's done 17 laps on those tires. RDW is in the pits then for the Williams. And oh, he's coming a bit too hot there, hasn't he? And that was that is going to be a 5-second penalty indeed then. But what a move there! I'm absolutely I'm lost for words. Then I got to say I was actually standing up for that move. Goodness me, he really lifted me off my seat, and I got to say F1 2019 was standing in the seat of that car as well. That was absolutely spectacular stuff. It really was. Dan is saying that if 2119 does get draw today, Sean has to eat his airpiece. Zach Forza said, oh, but didn't affect anyone's race's power cut then, and then the telly went off. Apologies for that. Don't worry about that, Forza. It happens. And of course I used to live in the forest, and power cuts used to happen all the time, as we had all kinds of rabbits and deers eating through the power lines, which never happened actually. It's just usually that someone turned off the power in my house. It was usually one of the nephews. We've also got Darren saying low with free shredded wheat then. So as I got to say, I haven't had my shredded wheat today, which is probably why I was feeling a bit tired toward this race there at the beginning of this race there. But goodness me, I got to say, it wasn't those milky bars that got me in the mood today. It was these bronze drivers that got me in the mood. It's been fantastic, hasn't it, from start to finish? Brilliant stuff indeed. Then Ayrton has dropped down into 30th position. He's gone onto the medium tires then, Ayrton Hansen, and we'll see what he can do from there then. But I think that the medium tires, it's not the... Oh, Lucius has also got a 5-second penalty. He's on a strong race on that Ferrari, isn't he? And he is thrown on the soft tires, and he's in and out there, and he shakes all about as well then. F1 2019 is now back up in the 5th position as well then, and here he comes Smithy D, because Dead Rabbit's off. He's gone off at the 130 yard, and August Schwarz went off there in a big old way, didn't he, in 2010 or 2011, and that is not good at all, is it, for Dead Rabbit? Excuse me. As I got to clear my throat. Smithy D is in the pits then. Yellow flag is still fluttering for the... that's a 5-second penalty for the Renault driver. RDW is now in 10th position there. He's on a really... I think RDW's qualifying performance doesn't really reflect on his race performance. One iota, that's it. Incredible stuff once again from RDW. Unfortunately, he does have a 5-second penalty, so perhaps then this might hurt him then in the later stages of the race as well. Ayrton's moved back up to 11th position as well then in the racing points. Well, Smith D is on the soft tires. Dead Rabbit's also in the pits as well then, making an extra stop after damaging the car, going off in the 130R unfortunately. And it's just no safety car. Bronze doing a good job then. They're doing a fantastic job once again, isn't they? Bronze is. We've also got Dan saying looking good there for the Honda powered cars. It really is, isn't it? Look at that. So they're third and fourth at the moment there, and 1 in 7th position. Oh my goodness, New Patera's going to go on the outside. Ayrton's got a 3-second penalty. He's going to go up and under, and Gurman is running out wide there. It's very difficult side by side for these S at the moment. New Patel has really turned up the wick, hasn't he? He lost the lead in the pit lane, didn't he? And now then he wants to regain that lead there with 8 laps to go there. Of course, you win and lose to the team, don't you? But unfortunately, I think that New Patel might be feeling a bit aggrieved by that. But at the same time, as I said, you win and lose to the team, don't you? Oh, New Patel, what incredible driving there. How he didn't spin there was absolutely fantastic stuff indeed. Then, as my internet security has just told me that I've run out of my license, so that's not good at all. Anyway, so we're coming out of the hairpin as well, and so it's still 9/10 of a second moment. Then Curly Red is now all over the back of Mike, and they're both on the same car. They're on the same life attire at the moment as well. As we're oh goodness me, Curly Red there, and look how difficult it's these Caliber drivers are really struggling, aren't they, as they come up the hills, isn't it? As they having to turn into the sides, aren't they? They're doing very well, aren't they, to keep the cars facing in the right direction, aren't they? Again, it's very dull over here, isn't it? Of course, it's not a sunny day as has been in the other race, does it? 4/10 of a second, 3/10 of a second. Then I think we have to come back to this battle here. And there's a Mercedes just in front of us. I think that's Dead Rabbit then, who was recovering after having some issues there, and now coming to the back there of Gurman. As you can see, New Patel there is following Gurman's every movement on the straight there. That's because he wants to slipstream, doesn't he? Because Gurman is punching a hole in the air, and New Patel wants to just go through that hole, doesn't he? And so that of course that means that he gets a slipstream effect, and he just gains on the car in front. Then of course you also have DRS as well. Of course the drag reduction system, which is the rear wing, which of course opens out like a little letterbox on the back of the car. So you see that big old metal slab, as you call it, isn't it? They're just going across the top of the cars, and of course in the back there, of course the rear wing opens, doesn't it? As you can see it there, and there it is, the little letterbox opens. So it's like posting your mail, isn't it? Albeit I wouldn't recommend putting your hand in there, because I would probably chop it off then. As they come into turn 1, Curly Red is on the inside. He takes 6 moves, or does he? Just Mike is continuing on the outside. Incredible stuff. Mike has gone wide there, and Curly Red is on the air. Oh, there's contact. There's contact. Mike has spun it, and they were going side by side into the SSN. He spins it around. Mike there is trying to recover there. No, Jay! Oh my goodness me! Bradfield and Mike have come to blows. Oh, he's reversed on the track as well, and there's damage to both cars. Mike has got a lot of damage as well. Oh dear, it's not been good at all. I say, oh gosh, and really, oh dear, virtual safety car, as unfortunately Bradfield and Mike have come together. You couldn't really couldn't really make it up, really, could you? And virtual safety car at the moment then, and yes. That's a shame then. Dead Rabbit's got a penalty as well for ignoring yellow flag said. So that's good. That's a bit of a slap, isn't it, on the wrist, to say the least. As virtual safety car, then they have to the DRS is enabled. Then never mind about the virtual safety car. We're back on it then already. Then the gap at the front. That's really helped Gurman. It's now to 1.2 seconds. Look at this as F1 2019. All of the back of Mazlet's in the battle for fourth and 5th position. Mazlet's on the hard tires, soft tires, and for F1 2019 he's gonna have so much more purchase, isn't he? And now then he is gaining all over the back then, isn't he? And look at him then. Oh goodness me, and almost been to the back of the Toro Rosso. He is through. He's up in the 4th position. He passes Mazda, and he is through. F1 2019, as I've got to say, has the overtaken the century, hasn't he, here today? He's been fantastic. It really has indeed then. Just watching to see what happens to Bradfield and Mike Dennis. They have both damaged the cars then, and they're going to have to come in, I think, and they change those front wings then, because they are both. That was quite an incredible shunt then. They do make these cars strong, don't they? As a Bradfield in the pits then, as he's lost a lot of end plate then, and there's a whole wing section gone there on the Mercedes as well, and he is in the pits. So that is unfortunate there, isn't it, for those guys? And so that's such a shame then. Battle of the front then. So that virtual safety car has really caused some issues there for New Patel. He's dropped right off the back of these guys, hasn't he? Right off the back of Gurman then. Lap 22. Out of 23, Gurman there. I thought he was overstepping the limit there, wasn't he? Lucius is now all over the back of Curly Red in the battle for 6th and 7th. Oh, and there's a Haas there in the background. The background there, just having a good old look on the inside then. So just take a look at some of your comments as well. As Guna says, don't say I didn't try though, Darren. I think Guna, I think it's just very difficult race circuit, isn't it? Especially when you've got a problem with your old Of course, sorry, I was just trying to get a breather. But Darren saying you did good. I salute you. Dan Murphy is saying that Ayrton should go 9. Fantastic stuff. Darren also saying points for Ayrton at the moment. Can he keep going there with just a handful of laps to go then for Ayrton? Good stuff indeed there. Good points as well for Smithy D and RDW. Brilliant stuff. Lucius also having a very old strong drive as well in the Ferrari. Brilliant stuff indeed then. As we've got Marcus Rashford saying go Nunda. He's currently down in 14th position at the moment. Unfortunately, most of this race Nunda's been trying to get back in. Michael taking out Jake. That's a role reversal, and Ayrton's doing really well then in the last 3 races. He really is indeed. Mike is out of the race there, coming through Dunlop then, and that's a big smash, I think, then, isn't it? And just oh goodness me then. I thought it was the car up in front of us then, but yeah, so unfortunately there Mike is out of the race then. That is such a shame then for the Mercedes car. That's really a shame there for Mike, because he was having such a strong old race, wasn't he, to say the least. And as Dan is saying, I always seems to find excuses for Gouda there. Of course, I think Gouda is one of the most unluckiest drivers in all of ALR bones, because remember, he's the most experienced driver in ALR history with a 47 race starts, and you don't get that experience without being good then, so I do say he's very unlucky. And now we're coming on to Spoon as well then. At the moment, Curly Red is coming on the medium tires. He's done 12 laps on the medium tires. The softer shod Ferrari is definitely the car to be on at the moment, isn't he? It's now going after repel the attack there from Smithy D. Smithy D has had a very good drive in the second half of this race, hasn't he? Really well done indeed. Same for RDW, they're going on the hard tyres, really keeping out of trouble, and now he's on course for 4 points there for the Williams team there, which was looking very unlikely at the start of this race. Good stuff indeed that Marcus Rashford saying Nunda struggling in 14th fair. Unfortunately for Nunda, he just couldn't get in the race, could he, until for a very long period of time there, which really cost him, I feel. So that's unfortunate for Nunda, down in 13th position as it stands at the moment then. As now then, as we go into turn 1 then, run lap 24 out of 27. The gap at the front is now to 2 seconds. It's now almost up to 2 seconds. Gurman is now on course there to win his 3rd race win of the season then. Gurman is really starting to take off in this league now, isn't he? Doing a fantastic job, isn't he? Gurman is in the Red Bull. Really well done indeed from Gurman then. And of course he will still be second in the championship. Well, he will be, of course, it is energetics in the moment, but he will be second in the championship as at the moment he's got a 12-point deficit over New Potato, who will still keep the lead in the championship at the moment then. As I'm now coming into the hairpin as well. Dan saying that you make your own luck. You can't make excuses for Gunnar being a walk magnet. So I think there's been a problem with Gunnar's Ferrari in the last couple of races. I think Ferrari remember Ferrari's history, they forgot to put fuel in the car for Felipe Massa in one of the qualifying sessions. I think it was in 2007 in Hungary, and we all know about Ferrari's strategical calls as well, don't we? Enough said about that, but let's from one Ferrari to another Ferrari. We're watching Lucius now, who is having a magnificent drive, isn't he, at the moment now? Oh, I think I thought he's going to go into the back of Curly Red there. He needs to keep it neat and tidy, coming out of the triangle chicane, doesn't he? So then he can get DRS there and really cause Curly Red some cause for concern there, isn't he? Curly Red there is getting defense as they come down the back straight once again then. Sorry, it's the finish straight as they Curly Red flying into turn 1 there, and that is the effect of having no and that's the effect of having no dirty air there, is it? As now then we're on board then with Smithy D. Then it's all over the back of Ayrton then. Ayrton is on the medium tyres and Smithy D is on the soft shod tyres as well. Ayrton's had a good run there out of the chicane then, but Ayrton there with 3 laps to go. He is almost home and dry there, but Smithy D is going to go on the inside. He passes Ayrton going into turn 1 then, and Ayrton driving down to 10th position there. We've also got Sean Hammers there getting in front of Nunda as Nunda has dropped down into 14th position as wow then. So I think the final battle to be decided in this Japanese Grand Prix is the battle going up into Spoon as well, as Lucius at the moment there is 5/10 of a second away at the moment. Massa's done a good job there. He's done a whole chunk of time of the race there on the hard tire. 15 laps on the hard tire to be precise. Really well done indeed. And also we like to, and also a good lap there, a good chunk of time as well from Curly Red, who's done 14 14 laps there on the some medium tires as well, and so there's a lot of guys out there who's done a lot of laps there on the on those so-called on those very worn medium tires as well. So if I can get my words out, that'll be a miracle in of itself, wouldn't it? Ayrton is still giving Smithy D a cause for concern, isn't he? There's a Curly right there, just defending there as he's defending the inside line then, but I don't think he needs to defend anymore though, does he? Because yellow flag, and then that's when the racing points got off. It is Noonda who's gone off at the SSN as he is in the gravel there. I think he's hit the beach too early, Noonda, as he's coming out of the gravel now. Unfortunately, I think that caps off a very difficult day for the racing points there. That's unfortunate. And just taking a look at the comments again there. Gavin is saying he lost connection and was out of the lobby while for a while there, Mark. Yeah, so that's such a shame there for Noonda. Darren saying getting nervous. Ayrton needs those points. And Marcus Rashford saying, well, 13th went too bad for a horrible start actually. A bit of confidence boost as well for Ayrton. And now as we're just on board down with Lucius, we're on the final lap then at the Japanese Grand Prix then, and German is almost home and dry. He is going to go for his 13th for his third race win, and has got a yellow flag there as when the Haas they're just slowing down and getting on the way of that battle for 9th and 10th position, which Ayrton is still keeping tabs with Smithy D at the moment then, as now we're back on board then with the Ferrari of Lucius, and really giving Curly Red a cause for concern, really giving him his hair is going a bit curly, isn't it? And now they're coming into the 130 yard and keeping it within track limits, and Curly Red there is leaving a space there and then just pulling onto the racing line then. Lucius there just going onto the grass there, but that is incredible stuff indeed there, as from Lucius there. He's got a really good run there. Look at that there. He's almost side by side in before the DRS line. Yellow flag in free then as something's gone off there. I think it's one of the Williamses there, and now then Lucius is up into 6th position. He passes, but Curly Red is back on the inside. Fantastic maneuver there from Curly Red. Really well done indeed then, and Curly Red is back in the 6th position. Lovely stuff indeed then. Gurman then is coming up to the final part of that now. What a drive from Gurman, really well done. And this race was won in the pits there, wasn't it? Yes, you don't say that too often, do you, when a car is actually overtaken in the pit lane there, but that's what happened today, and Gurman is going to win his 3rd race win of his bronze career. Fantastic stuff there from Gurman. No, he isn't. New Potato wins the Japanese Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff there from New Potato, and he extends his lead in the championship as well. Velocity is going to come through to finish in a fine 2nd position. Dead Rabbit has got a 5-second penalty now. He's unserved actually. He's down in 12th position. Velocity in 3rd position. F1 2019 hasn't raced for 2 months, but he's going to come through in 4th position and win the most incredible overtakes you'll ever see. Brilliant drive to 4th out from F1 2019, and also fast enough as well. Just kind of that's kind of a mic drop, isn't it? Now then is 5th position is Mars. 6th position is Curly at the moment there, as Lucius is giving it his all. As they think it might be too little too late now, as Curly Red comes through to finish in a fine 6th position there. 7th position is Lucius as well. Lucius also has a 5-second penalty. On board then with RD Wee, who is coming through to finish in 8th position there as well. So very good driving once again there from RD Wee there in the second half of this race. Good stuff indeed there from RD Wee. In 9th and 10th position then is going to be Smithy D, and Ayrton will get his 1st points then of his career. So well done there indeed then. Brilliant stuff then. So Smithy D in 9th, and Ayrton will complete the top 10. Well done to Ayrton, well done to Smithy D. But hats off to this man, Nude Spud, or Nude Potato I should say, who wins then his I think that's his 2nd race win of his career. Indeed it is. Of course he won the Spanish Grand Prix, and now he wins the Japanese Grand Prix as well. Fantastic stuff indeed there. Really well done. It's F1 2019 saying what an overtake on the Mercedes there. Yeah, we was all buzzing about that, wasn't we? It was a brilliant overtake indeed then. Whew. As the podium celebrations are well underway, it's been a cracking race. It really has, hasn't it? And we're just going to go through the final classification then from the Japanese Grand Prix, round 7 of ALR bronze, silver. Bronze. No, it's bronze, isn't it? Goodness me, I'm tongue-tied here. And also you can see that I got 2,500 XP points as well. So I got to say, being rewarded for my work today. So I'll give myself a self high five in a minute then. New Patel there won the race there, didn't he? A fantastic battle between Gurman and New Patel there. Gurman there would have won that if he didn't have that 3-second penalty. Very close in the end, wasn't it? Third position, Velocity. A very good drive from Velocity after a nightmare yesterday. Well done. F1 2019 in 4th position. Mazlet is in 5th. Curly Red is 6th. Lucius is 7th. RD Wee is 8th. 9th is Smithy D. 10th is Ayrton. Brilliant. Outside the points is Bradfield in 11th position. 12th for Sean Hammers. Miserable day for Sean. 13th position is a Dead Rabbit. 14th is Nunda. And 15th is Rafa. Retirements, Mike Guna and Forza. All retired from this Japanese Grand Prix. Really good stuff indeed then. And thank you to everyone for joining us tonight. It's been absolutely mega stuff. It really has indeed then. Anyway then, let's quickly interview the drivers then of what has been an absolutely fantastic drive it has. And let's start off with the man who won the race there by 0.2 of a second there. That was very close, wasn't it, Nude there? But really well done today. Brilliant stuff.
I was very close. I was behind him after we went the pit. I don't know how he jumped in the pit stop. Very well done. Brilliant pace. Only the last DSC, I lost him because I sort of was looking at my fuel mix and just as I looked back at the screen, there's a back marker, but I thought it was German, so I stood the brake and swerved and missed him. But it was a back marker under the ghost. So he got away then. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like a bit of a shame there, but nonetheless, so still a good win indeed. Then, yeah, it's unusual to see cars switch around in the pit lane. I was quite taken back by that, but in the end, there you kept it clean and you got your second race win in your career. So fantastic stuff indeed. Then. Let's come to the man who was second in the standings today, and that was Gurman. Gurman, you jumped Nude Potato in the pits today, but unfortunately, it just didn't go your way in the end. There, you had a 3-second penalty, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was trying to pull a gap at the end, but Nude Potato was just really quick, so I couldn't really get that much of a gap. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with second, to be honest.
It was a very good second indeed then, and I got to say then your Red Bull mechanics did a fine job, didn't they, in the pits to get you out in front of New Potato. Fantastic.
Yeah, I was hoping to jump him. Lucky I did, because I was on the menu release off the pit. I was trying to get it so I could jump him, but yeah, he's just really quick. I couldn't break the DRS for like the first few laps, and I got that penalty, so not much I could do really.
No, in the end there you did a very good. You were so close, only 0.2 of a second away in the end, but still a fantastic race. Well done, Gurman. Really well done indeed. Then, and let's come to Velocity then, who was third in the end today. And I got to say, Velocity, unfortunately, I had to bring up your silver race yesterday, but today there you really put it all right, didn't you? A fantastic drive.
Yeah, honestly, silver, one to forget, completely new setup, smashed it today. Honestly. I think I could have been in the running for the race win if I didn't have a couple of mess-ups that ended up letting F1 2019 in front of me. And then obviously his mistake and me avoiding him really cost me a lot of time then. So, but those two were so quick up front, it was actually unreal. But I'll tell you what, it was a good result for the team. I got the fastest lap, and I just decided, as they were pulling away, just to bring it home, just be smart with it.
Brilliant stuff indeed. Thank you all, guys. I should say. It's been absolutely brilliant stuff today, and of course we are back in action for the French Grand Prix next week for all 3 divisions then at the Paul Ricard circuit. They'll be put off by that then. We know it's not a fan favourite, but in league racing it is a fantastic race circuit nonetheless, isn't it? Join us on Sunday night as Gold returns then from the lovely French, I don't know what it is. Is it French, Southern France? I don't know. But it's a lovely circuit nonetheless. See you Sunday.